Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, very good afternoon, all of you. So, before we begin with today's session, I would like any five of you, those who have not spoken yesterday, please share at least one takeaway from yesterday's session. Yesterday, Dipti ma'am has shared some activities, some strategies related to Happy Classroom. So any five of you, those who have not spoken, not shared their views yesterday, please make sure you come up and share your at least one takeaway from yesterday's session.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, very good afternoon.
Regarding yesterday, we should both be happy. That is, the teacher and the students both should be happy to have a happy classroom.
Okay, wonderful, Tapat sir. And anyone else? The second one who would like to share? Unmute yourself and share your learning. And obviously that should be different from whatever Mr. Tapash has shared. You will not be repeating it. Come on, hurry up. Jyotsna ma'am, unmute yourself and to share your learning. Yeah, unmute yourself. You're not able to do so? Okay. Mr. Sunil Pandey, unmute yourself and share your learning. I'm not able to get your voice.
Ma'am, I want to say something about just a recap of the study session. Happy classroom means where the teaching learning process is done without boredom from the both end and containing some activities.
Yeah.
They can be mental or physical both.
Yeah, wonderful.
Like yesterday we had to say something, meaning initials of the name with attached with an adjective.
Yeah.
So like mental activity.
Yeah, some kinds of mental or maybe physical activities when we do and we engage our students. Okay, so there should not be any boredom, but it should be a joyful learning process for both teacher as well as the student, right? So till now, two of you have shared your learning. Anyone else? Yeah, Mr. Sunil Pandey.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess there is some noise over there. Okay. Wait a minute. Who else will speak? Come on, hurry up. I mean, likewise, we'll be wasting a lot of time. Yeah, Jyotsna ma'am.
Yesterday we learned that how can we make our classroom happy by injecting fun in the classroom and talking other than schoolwork, like playtime, giving students time to coordinate with their classmates. In this way we can make the classroom more that happy and make it teaching more effective.
More effective, joyful. And because you are an economics teacher, can you just suggest any one activity, I mean, that you would like to implement in your class? Because you mostly deal with the senior students, 11th and 12th, teaching them economics. Sometimes you see this subject becomes very dry and difficult for some of the students, not for all. Like, and what would you like to do to engage them in such, to make the subject interesting so that they should feel happy in economics class? What do you?
I would like to introduce some group discussion on some current events topics like finance, banking, money. So they will be indulged in the discussion and they will just create their own point of view so that I can analyze them, that how much they are learning and are they revising their concepts or not.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am. So, yeah, anyone else? Come on, hurry up. Else I'll be taking your names and I'll be just pinning your screens over there and I'll ask you. Please come on, hurry up. Urvashi ma'am, please just rotate the camera. Who all are sitting along with you? Towards your left, toward Purnima ma'am. Yeah, Purnima ma'am, please share your one takeaway. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm saying that we can make classroom happy by inviting the students to speak on some topic, like it's a discussion. We can take discussions or we can take seminars, so that we can get their ideas also, and other students, they can interact and they will feel happy and feel enjoy.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Right.
Thank
Because I'm always keen to know how teachers they can make history interesting, because I never liked that subject. It was very boring and difficult for me while during my schooling. Otherwise, you see, if I talk about my son, for him, history is a very interesting subject. So it depends upon the teacher. Like, let me tell you, all the credit goes to the teacher if the subject is made interesting for the child, and you are making the classes interesting, you are changing your classes into happy classrooms. A whole credit goes to the teacher. And if it is very difficult for the child to understand, obviously maybe the child's interest is not there, and maybe we are not able to inculcate the child's interest in that very subject. Right. Thank you. And one more response, please. One more response. Mr. Bijendra. Otherwise, sports is always, I mean, for sports and games, students, they also always look forward to different activities because it is full of physical and mental activities. Still, I would like you to share what is your takeaway from yesterday's session.
Ma'am, both we are active, teacher and students.
Anything else? Anything else? Because you should share something else. I mean, this is what the Mr. Tapish has already shared. Something else.
Yeah. And nothing.
Nothing. I'm not able to get your voice.
And I have given full freedom.
Okay, yeah. Being a democratic teacher, you give freedom to your students to do the activities in their own way while following the rules, okay, that have been made for a particular game or a sport, right? So that also makes the classes interesting and joyful. Thank you all of you for sharing your valuable inputs, your takeaways from yesterday's session. And now I am going to share the screen and would like to ask Mr. Vikas to take over today's session. Wait a minute. Yeah, Mr. Vikas, now you please carry on. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. So yesterday we have already discussed few points related to happy classroom. So as we have heard, my dear colleague said, if a teacher and a student are happy, the classroom become happy. But practically, we cannot happy always. Sometimes we feel a situation that cannot be happy always. So today I am going to present you few features that can help us to become happy, and we can control ourselves, and how can a classroom become happy. So I'm going to start my first slide. Please. Okay. So in this slide I'm going to elaborate is understanding emotional intelligence. To become happy, we have to understand what is our emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence refers to ability to identify, manage one's own emotion as well as emotion of others. This is simple as emotional intelligence. It has three skills like emotional awareness. Here we know what type of emotion we are feeling. At least we can give the name. How can we harness the emotion? And how can we use that emotion in the problem solving skill? For that, I have a 4 EQ skills that we also call emotional quotient. First is self-awareness, second is self-management. These comes in between personal competence. And the other one is social awareness and relationship management. It is come in the social competence. Now I'm start with the self-awareness first. Self-awareness, it is your ability to accurately perceive your own emotion. It means you know which type of emotion we are feeling, what type of name we can give, and also we should know our weaknesses, our strength, and also where we have a motivation. In this way, we can say that self-awareness is a key to aware ourselves by knowing our weakness, strengths, and the motivation. The other personal competence skill is self-management. In this, your ability to use your awareness of your emotion to stay flexible. Sometimes we got included in a heat up of moment. At that time we have to know what type of emotion we are feeling and what type of action we can do. इन इसका मतलब सिंपल आई वांट टू से समटाइम हम लोग इस ऐसी सिचुएशन में फंस जाते हैं कि हमें नहीं मालूम होता कि हाउ टू रिएक्ट। समटाइम क्लास में कुछ ऐसे स्टूडेंट्स हमें इस तरीके से बिहेव करते हैं जैसे वी कैन नॉट डू व्हाट टू डू। we have to we have to control ourselves, we have to manage ourselves, which type of emotion we are feeling. If we stop for a once, what type of emotion? I am angry, yes, but what is the cause of this if I react something? So this is called self-management. The other one is called social awareness. It is the ability to accurately pick up emotion in other people and understand what is really going on with them. After the heat of the movement, what to do? If you are stopping yourself, good. Then after that, if you are aware of few and that if we I do this thing, आगे क्या हो सकता है? So we have to aware of these things. If I do a this type of action, इसका cost बहुत ही क्या हो सकता है? Harmful होगा या फिर may be in beneficial. The last point of social competence in this slide is relationship management. It is your ability to use your awareness of your own emotion and those of others to manage instructions successfully. When we visit any new organization or new company and something else, what type of relations we are creating to others and how long we are bonding to them. And also sometimes we got a contradictory statement from each other and how can we solve them with the help of each other. This is a simple relationship management. So these four type of skills can build your emotional intelligence strong. First, self-awareness. Here you can work on your weakness, strength, and your motivation. Self-management. How can you control yourself when now you are in trouble and when you are not in a position to react? In the social awareness, you should be aware of these type of things at least. It may happen for your first time, but the life is life is small. We can say life is small. Every incident happened once. We can be aware of these things and also the relationship management, how we are bonding, how we are talking to each other, how we are maintaining our relationship to each other. So I'm going to so here I'm going to give you a toolkit for the teachers for the emotional intelligence regulation. As I have discussed the stop topic, the abbreviation of stop is there. S for stop. As we know, stop, you have to stop. वहीं पे आपको रुकना है. T, if you are not having control on your body, you have to take a breath for first. Observe. What the class is observing, even including feel the emotion, which type of emotion you are feeling. And P for pull back. This is the most and one important thing because if you are doing something, you have to stop your body to react. You have to pull back yourself. And the last, P for practice. It is repeated. Why? If you are not doing stop properly, you have to practice once and once more. Then, if you are practiced completely, if you think that you build your confidence, you have to proceed. The other one is care. It is a basic and simple part. Take a care. It is for students how you are building relationship to students. C for care. Code of professional conduct. As we are professional, we have to maintain the professionalism. How we are reacting to each other, this is called professionalism. Sometimes we griddle each other what type of clothes is wearing, what type of cloth, something. This is called a professional ethics. In this, we have to follow the professional conduct. A, acquire knowledge about your students to be able to cope up practically. Sometimes we visit a new class, like I have been in 10th class. I have few news about the 10th class. What to do? I am going to visit that class. I have to face them. I have to give them my best out. I have to do actually something. For that, I have a research over the students. What type of students are there? Is there definitely, like last video, rowdy classes there? No, they are not rowdy. We have to, whenever we are going anywhere, we have to acquire knowledge, at least something. What type of students, what they are, what they can do. Our point in this reflective practice and self-confidence help you in difficult situations. Same as you have to work on the key portion of the stop for this. You have to build your confidence repeatedly and engaging with colleagues. Ensure that you are not in an alone. This is also when we are feeling when we feel alone, we lose our confidence. We cannot share the things that this student, this colleague is disturbing me. This is the also portion that we have to share our emotion to each other. But it is also important you are trusting someone that who is at the position. This is okay. The previous slide was for the teachers. Now I was talking about the class. Sometimes we feel that misbehavior happens. What is misbehavior? Misbehavior such as disruptive talking. Sometimes we think that students are talking to each other and we are we are writing something on the blackboard and they are talking continuously. Chronic avoidance of the word continuously, they are disturbing us, scrolling, interfering with the teaching activity, rudeness, defiance, and hostility. They are ranging from the inappropriate number of activities they can do to disturb, mild to severe. Is a thorny issues in everyday classroom. We have always face. So for that, I have a reason. We have to know the reason for the misbehavior for them. We always complain that this student is not listening to me. He is not obedient, and other. We have to know what type of misbehavior they are doing and what is the reason behind of this. The first is psychological reason. Second is environmental factor and the biological factor. Psychological reason, it is not under us. We are teacher, we are not the medical professional. So I am going to discuss few points of this psychological reason. Ineffective coping skills, vying for the attention, for control power, lack of awareness about boundaries, and psychological disorder, low self-esteem. These are the parts that can be resolved by the medical practitioner. The other part is belongs to us. Here we can work on environmental factor. What type of nutrition students are taking? Diet, nutrition. Poor role models. Is there any model that he is or she is following? Maybe some good model is there, then it will be good. If he is following some brownies and something else, maybe it will be the trouble. Exposure to violence. Always we know about it. Ineffective parenting, media influences, and peer pressure. Media influencing and peer pressure are the most very important emotional factor in these days because students are influenced by the media influencer. What type of activities they are doing, they are just copying them. And the peer pressure, or maybe it can happen peer pressure related to academics, related to anything else. So we have to know about the environmental factor of the student, why he is misbehaving, why he or she is misbehaving. So environmental factor is very important to know. And the other is biological. These things related to the body, maybe temperament, genetics, chemical imbalance, brain disorder, development disorder, and sleepiness and hunger. Maybe student's temperament is not up to the mark. He belongs to maybe some family that who belongs to some, I don't know, but it's related to the temperament and the genetics also. Maybe the father is kind of a muscle man, पहलवान we used to call it पहलवान है तो उस तरीके की बॉडी है तो वो एक फितरत केमिकल इम्बेलेंस होता है समटाइम्स हमारे जब हार्मोन्स डेवलप होते हैं टीनेजर्स से एडल्टहुड में आते हैं तो वो एक केमिकल इम्बेलेंस होता है बॉडी में तो उस वजह से टेम्परामेंट होता है तो उस तरीके से भी मिसबिहेव हो सकता है वी हैव टू नो अबाउट दीज टाइप ऑफ दी मिसबिहेवियर्स रीजन हम डायरेक्टली जज नहीं कर सकते वाई ही इज डूइंग हम हमेशा बोलते हैं जब वो अच्छा नहीं है लेकिन वी शुड नो वाई ही इज डूइंग दिस तो दीज थिंग्स और बायो साइकोलॉजी of a medical, but the other environmental, if we know about the nutrition, student nutrition proper नहीं ले रहा है, वो मिल्क वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं लेता, एटलीस्ट उसकी बॉडी में प्रॉपर कुछ ना कुछ विटामिन की कमी है, एटलीस्ट हमें उनके पेरेंट्स को कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा कि हाँ आपके प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, बच्चे में कुछ प्रॉब्लम, आपको पता होना चाहिए वो क्या लंच में क्या कर रहा है, क्या नहीं खा रहा है, फास्ट फूड ले रहा है, ये चीजें आपने टीचर्स के लिए भी बेनिफिशियल होती है। मे बी कुछ ऐसा रेगुलरली वो पास्ता मैगीज वगैरह पसंद कर रहा है, इट विल इफेक्ट हिज बॉडी और ऑल्सो द बिहेवियर, बिकॉज अगर आपकी बॉडी में कोई भी एक विटामिन की कमी है तो प्रॉब्लम तो होगी, सिंपल एज दैट। बायोलॉजिकल फैक्टर, यहाँ पे हम कुछ काम कर सकते हैं, अगर सपोज ही वांट टू बिकम अ फाइटर, मे बी WWE देख के आया है, इन्फ्लुएंस होके आया है, तो वो फाइटर बनना चाहता है, बट ही अभी दिस इज आवर ड्यूटी, उसको हमें बताना पड़ेगा फाइटर इज गुड, बट अगर नहीं हुआ आप उसके लिए क्या करोगे, आप नहीं कर पाओगे तो आपको बेनिफिट क्या है, सब कुछ बताना पड़ेगा कैसे करना है आपको, बॉडी बनाने के लिए सब कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट, बट यू आर इन स्कूल, यू हैव टू फॉलो द कंडक्ट ऑफ द स्कूल, यू हैव टू स्टडी। सो for this, I have a FMA analysis. This is called FBA also, functional behavior analysis. Here in this slide, I am going to give you the kind of tips that can help you. The first is identify the problem. This is the first and very important step. You have to identify the problem. Why the problem is occurring. Okay. This facility is measuring and recording the behavior, cultural consideration, also important while assessing the identifying the displayed behavior. What type of behavior being displayed by the students? किस तरीके का वो behavior दिखा रहा है, हमें सबसे पहले आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा प्रॉब्लम। पहली स्टेप, पहला तो यही होना चाहिए कि we have to identify the problem. Second, collect information and determine the function. We have two options. We can go for direct assessment and the indirect assessment. In direct assessment, we can go consist of observing the problem behavior. We can directly contact with the students why you are doing this. We are consultant, like we teachers, we are a consultant. We can talk to the students. Why are you doing it? And indirect assessment, we have one thing that it is called PTM. At the time, we met with the parents. That is called indirect assessment. With the help of parents, we can assess the student. With the help of parents, what type of activity he is doing or she is doing in home. This is called indirect assessment. Also, we can contact to the person who is very connected to the student. This is simple as that, indirect assessment. In this, we can collect the information for the students and the categorize the people. Now we have three parts of this: function, skills, deficit, and performance. Function. In this, we can say that what type of behavior a student is demonstrating. It means why he is doing, not important, what type of things he is demonstrating. Whether he is talking to, whether he is passing the comments, whether he is doing anything that is not relevant to the class lecture. This is simple as the function. In skill deficit, sometimes students feel peer pressure related to the academics. They cannot perform very well. So they have a faith, they feel that they cannot do, and they wanted to be like the other students who is doing very well in academics. And the performance, how they can improve our performance with the help of teacher. And this is the last part for the category. It means function, what type of behavior is doing, skill deficit, what is the main reason behind it related to academics, is there any academics over here, and the performance, can we use ourselves with the students to resolve these things. And now final, the main important point of this slide is planning intervention. A plan is devised identifying the motivation that are needed to change or eliminate the behavior. The planning, how can we solve this problem? If we are connecting to each other, how can we research on them? These type of things is come to the planning intervention. And the last is evaluating the effectiveness of the plan. Finally, after these things, data is used to collect and analyze the effectiveness of the plan. It is वर्क, क्या इसने वर्क किया, जो हमने सारे प्लान्स धीरे धीरे करके बनाए थे, क्या हमने ये काम कर लिया, ये हमें एवेल्युएट करना पड़ेगा इस सारी चीजों के बाद। बट मैं लास्ट में डिस्क्लेमर भी मैंने यहाँ पे दिया है, अगर इफ द इंटरवेंशन वाज नॉट सक्सेसफुल, द टीम re-evaluate the intervention as well as the behavior and modify the intervention. Sometimes हमें रिजल्ट नहीं मिलता जो हम चाहते हैं, तो उसके लिए हमें कुछ स्ट्रेटजीज चेंज करनी पड़ती है, मॉडिफिकेशन लाना पड़ता है। तो जब तक की रिजल्ट ना आ जाए तब तक हमें कुछ प्लानिंग में छोटे छोटे मॉडिफिकेशन करने चाहिए। तो इसी के साथ मैं अपनी स्लाइड खत्म करता हूँ। थैंक यू।
Ma'am, you are
Yeah, am
मैम
I,
आवाज
okay, fine. So am I audible now? Right. So just
Yes,
wanted to share, I mean, very well presented by Mr. Vikas. Yesterday, we talked about like how do happy classrooms look like, what we should do in our classes. Now we got to know how we can have happy classrooms. Unless until we get to know the reason behind any trouble, any misbehavior, any kind of actions or gestures that we do not want our students to show in the classes. So what is the reason behind? Why they are misbehaving in the class? They are misbehaving, that's why we are not having happy classrooms. Sometimes they are misbehaving and we also react. We do not respond, rather we react. कोई चीज होती है एकदम से जो हमारा रिस्पॉन्स जाता है, हम फटाफट से जो करते हैं वो रिस्पॉन्स नहीं होता, दैट इज रिएक्शन। जो हमारा सोच समझ कर हम डिसीजन लेते हैं, थोड़ा टाइम लेते हैं, सोचते हैं बच्चे ने ऐसा बिहेव क्यों किया है, दैट इज आवर response. So we have to see what we have to do. Many of the reasons, they have been very well explained by him. Let us see. I mean, I really liked, I mean, jaisa an वैसा मन, right? We are as we eat. जैसा हम खाते हैं वैसा ही हम हमारा नेचर, हमारा बिहेवियर हो जाता है। In our classes, we do have our lunch with our students. We see what do they usually bring in their you see tiffins, whether they are bringing healthy diet or they are bringing I mean unhealthy food and all. So frequently if they are bringing such things, right, so let us point it out. Let us ask them, beta, why are you bringing such food items? Like today I got to know from Dipti ma'am, like 2 of the students, they did not bring the lunch today. And they said that our mother was unwell, so we are like that only, we did not bring anything to eat. So somehow, fine, we are able to manage something for them from the school canteen and all, right? So if it is like that, so this is our duty to notice who all are the children. Like you being the class coordinators, you should point it out, you should bring it to the concern of the coordinators, like, or should talk to me, whatever is feasible, and make sure, I mean, we are able to look into the matter. And if the children, they are continuously bringing such items that are unhealthy, let us talk to the parents also, as he has also pointed out. During PTMs we can talk to the parents, and otherwise ये नहीं कि अगर PTM 2 महीने बाद हो रही तो वो point हम discuss नहीं करेंगे. We can talk to the parents telephonically also, so that the same can be sorted out. What is the reason behind it, right? Very well presented. So I really liked. Fine, well done. So now anyone who has any questions, you may ask, and both of them, they are here, Mr. Vikas and Dipti, they'll be able to answer your queries. If you have any, we can have a short Q&A session. If you have any queries. If you have understood, fine, wonderful, nothing like that. This is our objective. Yeah. So Aksha ma'am has noted down the questions. She has got a long list of questions now. So Aksha ma'am, what is your takeaway? Then we will wind up the session with your takeaway or maybe your queries. Excuse me for a minute. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Aksha ma'am, come on, hurry up, then we can wind up the session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
First of all, ma'am, you are looking pretty.
This is not related to the session.
Okay. So we have learned about the how to manage the management with the feeling and stop and care points. I like the extra P with the stop, where the it is described about the practice and proceed. I think this is the main point for the teaching. Practice and proceed. For the practice we can plan. For the practice we can manage. So this P is excellent for Mr. Vikas sir. So I appreciate for this and. Instead of this, we have learned about the how to manage the behavior of the student, and we also can understand how to manage our behavior also. Uh, and for the next, the function about the behavior analysis for the processes like the we do in the research. For every single child, we can do the short research for the starting from the identifying of the problem and ending with the generalization of problem. How कि एक बच्चे के nature में कुछ ऐसा है तो हम उसके लिए specific generalization रखें और and so that's it.
Okay, yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And when you are talking about, we can go ahead with the small research. We call it action research. So let us all, I mean, if you want, you can engage yourself in such action research. And that action research, if you come up with some fruitful results, obviously that is a part of your continuous professional development as per NCERT also. So if you have such students in your classroom or whatever, you make a note of the behavior, you then talk to the parents, and you should also mention like what all changes I have made in my behavior also while dealing with those students, right? What all strategies I have adopted, or maybe I have consulted with so many other maybe parents or maybe the stakeholders, maybe the management, and how we are able to resolve by talking to the students, peers as well, right? So this is a kind of action research. You all can engage in that also. That's really up to you. I mean, I'm really very happy, at least you people, you are sharing your learning, whatever you are attending, whenever you are attending different sessions, make sure you share your points, your takeaways with others also. Otherwise, let me tell you, if we do not discuss, everything will vanish away. And we will forget everything. At least now we have got something, at least whatever is there, की पॉइंट्स, ये जरूरी तो नहीं होता कि पूरा दिन आपने एक 6 घंटे का सेशन अटेंड किया है और उसके बाद में आप सारे का सारी चीजें याद रहेंगी, नहीं रहती ना। अब पूरा एक दिन का अटेंड करके आ सुबह से लेके शाम तक कुछ कुछ आपको जो जो मे बी इंटरेस्टिंगली कन्वे किया गया या तो वो याद है, ठीक है, या तो मतलब उसमें कुछ ऐसा लगा कि यू आर एबल टू रिलेट इट टू यू कि हाँ मेरी क्लास में ऐसा बच्चा है, या मे बी मैंने ऐसा किया है, या मेरी प्रिंसिपल ने ऐसा किया है, या ऐसा है तो मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ, तो यू आर एबल टू रिलेट। या तो वो इंटरेस्टिंग था या तो आप उसको रिलेट कर पाए, यही होगा ना। और जो चीजें बोरिंग होंगी, आप तो बीच में बातें भी कर ली, फोन भी देख लिया, फिर ऐसे भी कर लिया, नहीं समझ आया, वो भूल गए, राइट। तो यही तो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के साथ होता है। 40 मिनट्स आप उनको जो पढ़ाओगे, देन आई मीन डोंट यू फील लाइक व्हाट एवर यू आर टीचिंग टू देम, 40 मिनट में से उनको 10 या 15 मिनट्स वाला ही समझ में आता है। इससे बियॉन्ड वो बाकी जो आप बोल देते हो वो कुछ नहीं उनको समझ में आता, ना उनको याद रहता है। सो लेट अस सी कि आप वो 15 मिनट वाला जो पढ़ाया इंटरेस्टिंग वाला, उसको आप कैसे ज्यादा बढ़ा सकते हो। एटलीस्ट उसको आप 20-30 तक तो लेकर आइए। 30 तक तो आपका टारगेट होना चाहिए कि मैं हर चीज ऐसे इंटरेस्टिंगली कन्वे करूं कि मेरे बच्चे उसको याद रखें। एंड दैट ऑल्सो नीड्स प्रैक्टिस, रिविजन। आज जो हमने किया है यहाँ पर, ये क्या है, इससे एटलीस्ट दीप्ति मैम और विकास सर की तो रिवीजन हुई है, हम सबको सब नया कॉन्सेप्ट मिला है, राइट। और जब इनको पढ़ाना था, आज इनको सेशन डिलीवर करना था, तो फिर इन्होंने पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन बनाया, वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स को रिवाइज किया, हैंडआउट्स को भी पढ़ा होगा। वो शायद नहीं तो ऐसे ही आके फोल्डर के फोल्डर फिर कबर्ड में पड़ जाते हैं, फिर वो कोई देखता नहीं है उसको, ऐसा ही होता है ना। तो लेट अस डू द सेम प्रैक्टिस विद आवर स्टूडेंट्स आल्सो। लेट अस आस्क देम कि आज आपको इस टॉपिक को बताना है, डिवाइड कर दो उनको, कि ये इसके 5 हैं, तो ये आप 5-5 जो है बच्चों के ग्रुप डिवाइड कर दिए कि आपको ये बताना है, आपको ये बताना है, आपको ये बताना है. एटलीस्ट दे विल रीड, दे विल गो थ्रू, अपने हिसाब से कुछ पॉइंट्स लिखेंगे, दे विल बी मेकिंग माइंड मैप्स, और जो कुछ भी बनाएंगे एटलीस्ट दे विल बी शेयरिंग द लर्निंग विद अस. So let us go ahead with such kind of practices in our classes also. इसका objective तो ये है ना, we should go ahead with the professional development. Why we are going ahead with that? So that we can give the best to our students, and they should also come up with innovative ideas of learning and all. Right? So it was a very good session. Right? And now teachers, we will be having another session on 8th. Both the sessions will happen on 8th by Mr. Tapash and Ms. Urvashi. So we'll be having, you have to present together. Okay. So maybe half an hour each, you can go ahead with that. Okay. Any kind of some interesting activity also that you can plan, I mean, while engaging the teachers online. So we'll be having it in the, on 8th. Okay. 1 hour training session that we'll be able to cover it. Okay. So fine, now you may carry on with your work, whatever you have planned.